And come up and let's share your story. So why don't we begin at the beginning, because you have done, when you got cancer, 2002? 3?
Yes.
2002. 2002. Well, why don't you share, what did you do? You got 2002, what were you thinking back then, what happened?
I had a 1-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. And I had breast cancer. They did a radical mastectomy and told me I had 61 affected lymph nodes. They removed 47 of them in the when they did the mastectomy, and said you have to do chemotherapy, you have to do radiation therapy, and they said you're young and strong, we're going to hit you very hard, so just be ready for that. And I went through the whole gamut. I did it all. And I realized that if my body could grow cancer once, it could grow cancer again. And there were things that I needed to change. Like Dr. Phil says, if you do what you did, you're going to get what you got. So I knew I had to make some changes. So I spent a lot of time pondering, praying, and listening to what I should do to make the changes. One of the things that I felt I needed to do was find a really good nutritional vitamin supplement called New Skin Farm-X, because that was the one that looked like the best one when I did my research. And they hooked me up with David DeHaas and said, he's a distributor in your area. So I said, sure, sign me up under him. And David called me, we met, and about a year later, he had invited someone here to this very clinic who talked about colon hydrotherapy and doing a 10-day. Well, I jumped on a plane, went to Hawaii, and did a 10-day cleanse. That was about 5 years after my all of my surgeries. I had multiple surgeries between the mastectomy and then reconstruction surgery and all of it. And I felt really crappy. I felt gray. I was tired all the time. I had been on, I did the chemo drugs, but I also did a experimental drug called Herceptin, because the type of cancer I had was HER2 positive cancer. They put me on this experimental drug. I did it for 2 years, and I could literally tell it was killing me. I gained weight, and I was just dragging. I didn't have any energy to do anything, and I knew I had to stop. And I did. I told my doctor, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then I went through the 10-day cleanse, and when I came out on the other side of that 10-day cleanse, I literally felt 20 years younger. Fast forward 10 years of not taking care of myself the way that I should. We all go back into the old habits of the things that we know, and I was feeling gray and tired again. And my husband said, no more. Called David and said, we need to get Ann in on your next 10-day cleanse. That was about a year and a half ago. And I went through the 10-day cleanse, and I went from day one feeling gray, tired, very little energy, and just, I looked old. I looked gray. At the end of the 10-day cleanse, I absolutely felt radiant. I felt like I was glowing. I wanted to go out and tell everybody, come do this. It is such a phenomenal change for your whole body. You just feel better. I went through the 10-day, and then I did liver cleanses every month for the next 7 months. On my 7th liver cleanse, I passed easily a cup full of gallstones, just as part of the process. And I thought, I am so glad I don't have that in there. And David talked about parasites. Oh yeah, every time I did a cleanse, every time I did a colonic, I saw the parasites go through the tube. So yes, we all have parasites, and you're much better off if they're not in you if you watch them go down the tube. Any questions?
Well, I think one of the questions that people would probably ask is, why were the parasites gone after the first 10-day?
Because I've eaten since then. And I've breathed since then, and I've sat in my car, and I have dogs, and I live my life. I don't live my life in a bubble.
Yeah. And of course, one of the things we notice is that the more you cleanse, those parasites, They bury themselves in the mucosal lining, and they're literally hanging on because they don't want to leave. I remember, the second time I went back and did a follow-up 10-day cleanse, it's like, wow, where'd all that come from? So every time you do it, you keep loosening it. Like my dad experienced. My dad didn't really get a lot of stones out of his liver until the 4th time. And after he did that, bam, things just healed fast. So it's not a one-and-done event, but once we get the main stuff done, the follow-up 3 to 4 day, I remember you coming and said, David, it's 4 days because, wow, what came out today was amazing.
Yeah.
And, you just kept looking better and better and better. Yeah.